Well, we seem to just be getting into the good part of summer, but it's not too soon to start thinking about back to school. And if you have a young athlete in the house, you know there's a physical exam that needs to happen. Here with me now is Dr. Gregory Newman with Baylor Scott and White Hillcrest Marketplace Clinic. You know, it's not just physicals, it's shots too.
Right.
That kiddos need.
So there's a lot of things you get to think about when you're getting back to school. So you don't want to be caught behind because all of a sudden you're going to be trying to cram into your physician or your practitioner at the last minute. Well, a lot of other people are going to be doing the same thing.
Well, it is so important that that our young athletes, and of course it's required by the state, they have to have these exams, but it can turn up not only, it can a real significant problem that could be there.
Sure. I mean, these sports physicals, for instance, and by the way, band members are also going to be required to do that this year.
Really?
So not only band members in sports, you look at all those extracurricular activities, and if it involves physical activity, well, you're probably going to have to get screened. And so one of the things that we look for in that is not just those old musculoskeletal injuries, or are you at risk for spraining an ankle or hurting your back, but we're looking for things serious like congenital heart disease, for instance.
Well, now, how do you test for that? You don't just automatically give kids an EKG, do you?
No.
Or something like that.
Yeah, that would be a big burden if we were to do EKGs and echocardiograms on everybody that comes in. No, a good history, along with looking at maybe family history as well, and then asking about symptoms they might have while they're playing sports, and then certainly a good physical exam are really what we need to screen for those kind of conditions.
Well, it is it's nothing sadder for us to report than a seemingly healthy young person, running on a basketball court and just saying, I feel bad, and die.
Yes, and that's the thing, is that a lot of these conditions, you're not going to see it. You can't look at an athlete or student athlete and tell that there's something going on inside the chest.
Yeah.
And so sometimes it's a sudden onset, and we sometimes don't even have those signs and symptoms that you might think of a disease presenting with.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned that band members are doing it too, because they're out practicing. Of course, it's really, really hot in August and September when they're out, working on their formations and carrying instruments and all that kind of stuff, and that's kind of stressful.
Yeah, it can be taxing, and remember, they're carrying heavy instruments, and they've usually, at a football game, have on a full uniform as well.
Absolutely. Well, back to school shots, what do folks need to know about that?
Well, your pediatrician or family practice doctor should have been kind of guiding you along from infancy all the way through toddler and into kindergarten. So you're looking at some of those shots. A big push is, of course, for pre-K or kindergarten, and then, of course, there's some boosters in middle school as well. But there's also some college age people that once they're getting into the college environment, they're going to need some booster shots as well. Those are very important. For instance, meningitis.
All right, important things to know. And how can folks get in touch with you?
Well, we actually are with Baylor Scott and White Hillcrest Clinic over in the Marketplace, and we do have walk-in hours. I'd also, of course, encourage people to get in with their primary care physician if they have established one.
Yeah, and the sooner the better, because we will be, as you say, getting into that rush soon. Right. Thank you so much, Dr.
Thank
Newman.
you.